Hi! My game Dragon Punch is a quick 10-minute card fighting game for 2 players, inspired mainly by video fighting games like the Street Fighter series. It's really all about trying to outwit your opponent with the timing and positioning of your attacks and defenses. And apart from its gameplay, the really great thing about Dragon Punch is how super portable it is. I mean, the entire game is just 18 cards, and that includes 3 cards for the rules. And you don't need a surface, don't need a table to play it. So you can play it on the couch, in the back of the car, standing in a queue, or even like over a video Skype call or something. Right, so in this video, I'm going to tell you how to play, and I'll first explain how these cards work, well, what's on the cards. Then I'll run through a basic turn, and then I'll give you some more examples so that we've covered all the rules. That might sound like a lot, but don't worry, that'll take less than 10 minutes. Right. Cards. First. Right, so in Dragon Punch, both players hold 7 cards. And each card has 2 moves on it. Show you here, one on the top, one on the bottom. And I'll show you what's sort of the parts of a move. As you can see, there's a name up there, high kick. Then there's a number, which is the execution time, 3 in this case, lower being faster. And then there's sort of 2 locations, the high and low location. In each of those locations you can find attacks, blocks, or evades. In this case, a high kick does an attack for 2 damage in the high location. If you, for example, look at the block has a block icon, surprisingly, in both of its locations. And if you look at the crouching fireball here, there's an attack in the low location as well as an evade in the high location, right? Right. Finally, there's also some sort of special effect text here, different text on all the cards. Say this block we just had, for example, got a text saying that you get the initiative if you successfully block an attack with it. I'll go through what that means all in a bit. Right, that's the cards, 2 moves on each. Now, structure of the game. A game consists of a few rounds. The first player to win 2 rounds wins the game. And the single round consists of turns. And it simply lasts until one player has lost all their health. So just keep on taking turns till one player is knocked out. A single turn is really simple. Both players select a card simultaneously. Then you check whether any attacks in there hit and deal damage. And then if no one's dead yet, if no one's knocked out yet, you flip your used card over and you start again. So just keep on taking turns like that. Let me just go through a turn like that with cards in hand. So all you really have to decide every turn is which card to play from your hand. So I've got 7 cards here. I can choose one. I'll make a sensible safe first choice, the block, and put that on the front of my hand for convenience. The other player, which I'll just grab here, other player, also got 7 hands. I'll put the other player there in a sec. He'll choose a high kick. High kick, that we've already seen. Bit slow, but good damage. Bit of a risky move for your first move. Anyway. So now we've both selected our cards. We sort of simultaneously reveal those to each other. And then the second step is basically, checking what happens with this combination of cards. Basically seeing which attacks go through. In this case, the block doesn't attack at all, so that's nothing I have to do there. The high kick does do an attack, 2 damage in the high location. So you check whether the opposing card, the block in this case, evades or blocks that. Well, it does, it blocks. So great, that attack deals no damage. My block also has the special effect saying that I get the initiative if I successfully block an attack. So great, got the initiative. Tell you what that is in a sec. So that's the attacks resolved. and no one's knocked out yet. So we end the turn by basically flipping. Okay, I've got that block card. You flip to the back of your hand, like so. It doesn't only go to the back, it also turns around. So my opponent can now see that I've used my block, and visually for myself, my block is no longer an option. Right now I have to choose one of the other cards on my next turn. There is one card called the Taunt, with which you can unflip all your used cards, but that's quite a vulnerable move, so you have to time it correctly. Anyway, that's one turn. No one's knocked out yet in this case, so just start a new turn. Both players select a new card, compare them again, flip them again, and so on, just until one player is knocked out. The other player wins the round, and the first player to win 2 rounds wins the game. Good. So let's go into a few more card combo examples to further explain the rules that I've glossed over so far: initiative, execution time, and health. Right, let's start a fresh round. That block goes back. Suppose I play a high kick, and which is that 2 damage high, and my opponent plays a throw, which is 2 damage low, and unblockable. If in case we reveal these to each other, both attacks are effectively undefended because neither move does any blocking or evading. If that happens, and it fairly often will, compare both attacks' execution time. So the high kick has a lower execution time, 3 versus 5. So if you've played any fighting games, you'll know that a quick attack can interrupt and prevent a slow attack. So in this case, the high attack's quicker and deals 2 damage, and the slow throw is prevented. So that neatly brings us to the next thing, taking damage. So this side gets 2 damage from a high kick. Well, taking damage in Dragon Punch is really simple. You rotate your basic white moves to their red counterparts. I've got 2 damage, so in my hand, this is my hand, I'll try to do this way around, and now I have to move 2 cards, right, like that, rotate them like that. So this high kick, for example, might turn into a combo kick. And I now have 2 red moves available and 4 white ones left. If you run out of white moves, you're out of health and you lose the round. It's that simple. And yes, you will have noticed that these red moves are different to their white counterparts. Basically, it means taking damage lets you choose which moves to upgrade during play. As you get hit, you get more furious, and well, do you want a more powerful throw, or do you want a safer taunt, or do you want a block that lets you deal extra damage on the next move? It's up to you, really. And your opponent obviously doesn't really know which one you're rotating. So you might also have noticed that the special cards, they're like black on both sides, and that does indeed mean that they don't count as health and never change. You just pick one move at the start of the game, and that's the one that you use. Right, so we've taken our damage, we flip cards, throw goes to the back, the other side high kick goes to the back, and you can actually see there that my high kick said is, if this attack is successful, gain the initiative next turn. Having the initiative simply means winning any of those execution time comparisons that we just saw. Rather, there's no comparison at all. If you've got the initiative, then your attack counts as faster than the other ones. So if, for example, after that last turn, in which we successfully dealt 2 damage, I would now play throw, and my opponent would go for a kick, say he's upgraded that, so that'd be a combo kick now. Well, we've just seen that normally in this case the 3 speed one goes before the 5 one, but because I've got initiative this turn, I win. So the 5 wins, even though that's technically a slower move. It's effectively not slow anymore if you've got the initiative. And I would deal another 2 damage with that, which is good. After that, because no one sort of claimed the initiative this turn, no one would have it next turn. So generally, like if you have the initiative, it's a great time to pull out those slow, big hitting moves because they're effectively not slow anymore. But yeah, at least it only lasts one turn, and it only comes into play if both players make an undefended attack. So your opponent can still evade or block without any sort of penalty. So maybe you anticipate that your opponent is likely to block and sneakily play your taunt to unflip your cards, but maybe your opponent gambles on that and tries a risky high kick. Basically, the whole guessing game like changes when initiative comes into play. And that's really the great thing about Dragon Punch. The basic choose a move from your hand mechanic is super easy to grasp, especially if you play fighting games. But which cards you've used, and which card your opponent used, and which cards have been upgraded, and who has the initiative, they each add a constantly changing dimension to that guessing game. And that's what really makes and keeps this game interesting. So, but that's Dragon Punch. A simple but deep game of wits in a super portable play anywhere package. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.